So, looking at our PDF here, this is what we'll be creating. So here's a table, and we can see we have our different views and everything all laid out. So we go back to CAD here. So for something like this, I'm going to start by creating our first box here. So I'm going to draw 3D modeling and box. And I'm just going to start by drawing the top of the table here, which I will start in my top viewport. So I'm going to set my first corner of my box, and then my table was 6 feet. So I'm going 6 feet and then 4 feet. And I hit enter, and then now it's going to ask me to punch in how thick it was, which is 2 inches. And now that I have the basic foundation of my image in place, I can kind of zoom in. Oops. So I can see my table here. I now have the top box of my table. And now, next thing I want to do is probably create my legs. Again, I'm going to go to Draw, 3D Modeling, and a box. And then check. So the leg is 4 inches by 4 inches by 2 feet 6 inches. So go here, going 4 inches by 4 inches. And then when I hit enter, now it's going to ask me for my height, which was 2 feet 6 inches. And I can see now in my isometric view, I have my leg. Now I can see, obviously, it's not positioned properly. So I'll probably make some scaffolding to kind of help me snap my legs to my points. So looking at my drawing here, I can tell that the legs are 6 inches inward here. So who can recall the command? So if I want to make a rectangle here for scaffolding that's 6 inches, I don't want to use the command, but 6 inches in from this outer rectangle, who can tell me what the command is? Anybody? Come on. Offset, thank you. So we're going to offset. I'm going to go 6 inches. And I'm going to go on the inside. So now I have a nice rectangle here I can snap my leg to. So I'm going to select my leg, M for move. I'm just going to grab a corner here and snap it right here. And I'll take this and I'll copy it. And I'll grab another side here. I'll snap it right there. And make my life a little easier, I'm going to select both those at the same time, copy, and I'm going to snap it to the top here. So looking at my isometric view, I can see that my table is starting to take shape nicely. But one thing I've noticed is it's upside down. So there's a great command for a lot of the commands that we've been using in 2D space. There's a 3D command as well that's related. And to access that command, you just type 3D in front of it. So normally if we wanted to rotate something in CAD, we just type rotate. But if we're going to do it in 3D, we can type 3D rotate. And then it gives us this weird sort of gyroscope looking thing. And what this has is it represents the X, Y, and Z axes. So what I can do is I can click on the axis that I want to rotate on. So in this case, I want to do this one. And you'll notice as I click on it, now as I move my mouse, it's just rotating along that axis. So I can either use my mouse, or I can type in an angle manually. So we want to flip it 180 degrees, so I'm going to type 180. And now as I look at my other views here, I can see that now the good news is my table is in fact, the legs are on the bottom of the table.
Mr. Bradley, could you send me this template, this template, the picture of the assignment?
Yeah, I'll print that up for you. Then where was I? Okay, and then one other thing I noticed that I want to fix is my legs actually are inside my table. And so I want my top of my table on top of the legs. So to do that, I'm just going to do my move again. But this time I'm going to do it in kind of a snappy way here. In my isometric view, I'm going to take the top of the table. I'll hit my M for move. And I'm going to grab the bottom corner here of my table. And then I'm just going to snap it to the top. And that's going to put it perfectly into position. So now when I look at my left view here, I can see that my leg in fact begins at the bottom of the table. Okay, the only thing else to do is to do your supports that go across. And we'll notice when you go to your layout space, you'll have to position all your viewports here, but everything is virtually ready for printing. So we can remember previously, if we were to do something that looked like this, we'd have to hand draw each of our different viewports, and then this isometric view would have been fairly difficult to draw. So you can see creating in 3D makes life a whole lot easier for us. So let's see, 3D rotate, I think that's the only new command for today. Any questions at all? Okay, good luck.